Pep Guardiola's Barcelona side truly changed football. Many remember their intricate tiki-taka passing. Their beautiful possession-based game was mesmerizing, but their pressing was just as crucial. It formed the foundation of their dominance. They aimed to win the ball back almost instantly. This was a proactive, aggressive defensive stance. It was a shift from traditional reactive defending. Football was witnessing a tactical evolution. This Barcelona team redefined winning the ball. The team operated under the famous 6-second rule. Once possession was lost, players had 6 seconds. In this time, they had to win the ball back. This led to intense, immediate pressure on opponents. Stars like Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta led this press. They harried defenders from the very front. It was not just the work of a few individuals. It was a deeply ingrained collective effort. Every player understood their role in the press. This systematic approach was key to their success. The primary objective of this high press was clear. Barcelona wanted to regain possession high up the pitch. This meant winning the ball close to the opponent's goal. Doing so limited the opposition's ability to build attacks. They were often forced into errors or long, hopeful passes. Crucially, it also created immediate attacking opportunities for Barcelona. The transition from defense to attack was swift. This relentless pressure suffocated opposing teams. They were given no time or space to think. Barcelona controlled territory and the game's tempo. The impact of Barcelona's pressing was profound. Teams struggled to cope with their constant harassment. They dominated matches through both possession and pressure. The 2011 Champions League final against Manchester United is a prime example. Barcelona delivered a masterclass in football. United were overwhelmed, unable to establish any rhythm. Barcelona's press was a significant factor in that victory. It effectively neutralized United's attacking threats. This style set a new benchmark for elite football. It inspired a generation of coaches and players. Guardiola's innovative ideas did not remain confined to Barcelona. Their extraordinary success ensured that others took notice. Coaches across Europe saw the immense power of organized pressing. Many began to adopt similar principles in their own teams. However, it was not a simple case of copy and paste. Successful adaptation required understanding their own players. New pressing styles began to emerge and evolve. The core idea spread, but its application varied. Football tactics entered a new phase of development. Pressing became a central theme in coaching circles. Jurgen Klopp became a prominent figure in this evolution. His Borussia Dortmund side played with incredible intensity. They popularized the concept of gegenpressing, or counter-pressing. This style was perhaps even more aggressive than Barcelona's. It was often described as heavy metal football. The emphasis was on an immediate, furious counter-attack. This happened the instant the ball was won back. Dortmund's pressing was less about patient possession. It was more about creating chaotic, fast-scoring chances. This demanded exceptional physical commitment from players. Mauricio Pochettino also built his reputation on high-pressing tactics. His teams at Southampton and later Tottenham Hotspur were renowned. They were known for their energy and relentless work rate. Pochettino placed a strong emphasis on supreme physical fitness. His players needed to sustain the press for entire matches. The pressing was highly organized with specific triggers. Players knew when and where to apply pressure. This disciplined aggression pushed opponents deep into their own half. It was effective in disrupting opponents' build-up play. Young players often thrived under his demanding system. However, implementing aggressive pressing systems came with challenges. Maintaining such high intensity for a full 90 minutes was difficult. It placed an enormous physical toll on the players involved. Deep squads with fit players became essential for success. There were also significant tactical risks involved. If the initial press was bypassed, teams could be exposed. Large spaces could open up behind the advanced defensive line. Opponents could exploit this with quick, long balls. Consequently, tactical fouls sometimes increased as a countermeasure. Coaches had to balance the rewards with these inherent risks. Hansi Flick's tenure at Bayern Munich saw pressing tactics reach a new peak. His Bayern side took aggression to another level. They consistently played with an exceptionally high defensive line. This tactic was designed to compress the playing area. It squeezed the opposition, denying them any space. It was a daring and often risky approach, but the rewards were frequently spectacular. Bayern aimed to dominate opponents both tactically and physically. Their pressing was a key component of this dominance. They set a new standard for intensity in modern football. Several key components defined Flick's pressing system. The forwards acted as the first line of defense relentlessly. They chased down opposition defenders without hesitation. Midfielders pushed up aggressively to support this initial press. Even the defenders would step high to intercept passes. Goalkeeper Manuel Neuer's role was absolutely crucial. He played as a sweeper keeper far off his line. This allowed Bayern to maintain that high defensive shape. It was a highly coordinated full-team effort. Exceptional fitness levels underpinned the entire strategy. The most famous example of Bayern's power was the 2020 Champions League, specifically their stunning 8-2 quarter-final victory over Barcelona. This match was a stark illustration of modern pressing. Bayern's relentless pressure systematically dismantled Barcelona. They forced countless errors in Barcelona's own half. Many of Bayern's goals came directly from these turnovers. It showcased the devastating potential of an evolved press. For many, it felt like a significant turning point. The student had in some ways surpassed the master. This performance sent shockwaves through European football. Bayern's success was not just about raw athleticism. Their players combined immense physicality with sharp football intelligence. They understood the triggers for when to press. They knew the correct angles to close down opponents. This modern press was a culmination of years of tactical evolution. It built upon the foundations laid by teams like Guardiola's Barcelona. But Flick's Bayern made it more extreme, more organized, and arguably more devastatingly effective. They established a new benchmark for high-pressing teams. Their success highlighted the importance of holistic player development. Comparing the pressing styles of Guardiola's Barcelona and Flick's Bayern reveals key differences. Barcelona's press was intrinsically linked to their possession philosophy. They aimed to regain the ball quickly to restart their passing sequences. It was about achieving control and rhythm. Their press was often more positional, focused on cutting passing lanes. The goal was sustained pressure through ball retention. It was less about forcing an immediate shot on goal. It was a more patient, suffocating form of dominance. They wanted to methodically wear down their opponents. Flick's Bayern, on the other hand, pressed with more direct aggression. Their primary aim was often to create immediate scoring opportunities. Turnovers won high up the pitch were quickly converted into attacks. This approach carried a higher element of risk, but it also offered the potential for higher reward. Bayern's press could be more man-oriented at times. It felt more focused on disrupting and destroying the opponent's play. It was a powerful offensive weapon, not just a defensive tactic. Their pressing was about overwhelming power and speed. It aimed to shock opponents into submission. The evolution of pressing has profoundly changed modern football. Today, some form of pressing is almost universal among top teams. It is no longer a niche tactic, but a fundamental aspect. The overall speed of the game has visibly increased. The physical demands placed on players are higher than ever. Technical skill under intense pressure is now paramount. Players in all positions must be comfortable on the ball. Goalkeepers and defenders especially need to be press resistant. They must be able to play out accurately from the back. In conclusion, pressing is now a vital part of football. It is far more than just a defensive strategy. It dictates how teams attack and how games unfold. The tactical evolution of pressing continues unabated. Coaches are constantly searching for new innovations. They seek fresh ways to gain an edge through pressing. The future of football tactics is inextricably linked to it. Pressing in its various forms is undoubtedly here to stay. It will continue to shape how the beautiful game is played. Its journey from Barcelona to Bayern shows its dynamic nature.